If you're broke, lost, have no money, no idea what to do, and you want to make at least 6 figures starting today, I'll show you what to do. You don't need a degree, you don't need connections, you don't need money, you don't need any of that. Just one word: sales. Sales is by far the highest paid profession on the planet. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Every company needs sales. That is the most important function, regardless of the industry. I don't care if you are a grocery store. I don't care if you're a plumbing company. I don't care if you're a healthcare business. It doesn't matter what it is. Every company needs sales. And the people who generate the sales, the people who generate the revenue for the company, are compensated higher than anything else. Salespeople make more than doctors, they make more than lawyers, it's the highest paid profession for a reason. When I was 17 years old, I was working as a bagger at a grocery store. I was making $10 an hour. Obviously, that didn't satisfy me all that well. So I knew when I turned 18, I would have a lot more opportunities open up for me. So I made one Google search and I searched what was the most common first job that all billionaires had. Sales. That's how I discovered it. I didn't do any due diligence. I didn't fact check this. Nothing. I just decided, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I immediately started looking for different sales opportunities. I printed out a resume. I had no experience, no idea what to expect. And I went up and down the local street and applied at car dealerships and furniture stores and this and that, door-to-door sales, everything. And by happenstance, it's a numbers game, by the way. That's another thing you learn in sales. It's a numbers game. The local furniture store hired me, and I'm an 18-year-old kid now. I'm still in high school, and I started making $70,000 a year. And at the time, I'm an 18-year-old kid. I have no expenses. I'm living at home. That was a lot of money for me. By the time I was 19, I got hired at an appliance company. I started making over $100,000 a year. By the time I was 20, 21 years old, I was making $200,000-300K a year. I dropped out of college at that point. Why would I need to do that? In sales, you have the ability to have uncapped earnings. If you get paid by the hour, if you get paid on a salary, your earnings are capped, right? Even if you have a $100,000 salary, that's it. You can never make more than that. You gotta fucking hump like hell and work and work and work and try to convince a boss to maybe give you a raise at some point. Or if you get paid hourly, you have to trade your time for income. With sales, I'm in Mexico right now. I could have a client call me on the phone, I can make a sale, and I can get paid a commission from anywhere. My time is not connected to my earning potential. It's my performance. It's my ability, it's my merit. And I know I can work harder than anybody else, so I know I can make more money than anybody else. In sales, especially if you have dreams of being a business owner, for example, but you're broke and you have no money, how the fuck are you gonna open up a store, right? So go work for somebody else. Go sell their shit. Salespeople will always be in demand. Doesn't matter if there's a recession, doesn't matter if there's a depression, doesn't matter if anything happens. Good salespeople will always be needed. And the reason it gets paid so much, people don't like to do it. People just have this misconception, oh, I'm not a salesperson. Oh, I can't talk, oh, I can't do this. Every salesperson I've ever met initially told me they didn't know how to sell. They were terrible at communicating. They just had a bunch of bad experiences, a bunch of bad pitches, and eventually you get better. But what is sales fundamentally? Somebody has a problem. Your job is simply to find a solution to it. It's nothing, in my opinion, actually one of the most honorable professions. Because in my particular case, somebody came in, their refrigerator died. They lost all their food, right? They need a product. It was my job to find them the best price, best solution for them. And I got paid for it. It feels really good. There is something about sales that just develops you as a person. It's the ability to communicate. I was never like this. I used to be insecure. I used to be socially awkward. I used to barely talk. Oh, excuse me, sir, would you like to buy this? I didn't know how to talk. But after years of doing it, you develop yourself, your ability to communicate. Warren Buffett, Alex Hormozi, all of these mega wealthy people out there, all of them talk about the most important skill is the ability to communicate. Now with me, I'm a bit ahead of the curve, right? I'm past my sales career. I've gone on to invest in real estate and buy businesses and do all that. But all of the skills I learned to communicate and sell early on in my career, they're transferable. Those skills stay with me. Whether I'm buying businesses now, I'm still selling. Whether I'm at the negotiating table, whether I buy a company and now have to sell the employees on why this new direction that the company's headed is the right way. Whether I'm in real estate trying to sell a buyer to buy a property from me or something like that. I mean, sales, dating, everything in life is sales, and the ability to sell, the ability to communicate will only enhance your quality of life 100%. But the ability to sell, you have uncapped commissions. You could easily, I guarantee you, whoever's watching this, assuming you're in a relatively developed nation, just do a Google search, sales jobs near me, and I guarantee you, you'll find more opportunities than you could possibly handle where you can make 100, 200, 300,000 a year. And you think, why the hell would somebody pay that? Well, if you could generate a few $1 million worth of revenue for a company, they will gladly pay you 200 or 300K a year. Absolutely. So, and they're always in demand. Doesn't matter. I mean, you need to give it a shot. I used to think conventional wisdom, go to school, get good grades, get a stupid degree, have student loan debt, blah, 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 go work for a company that I don't even like. That model's broken. If you are a PSD, poor, smart, with a deep desire to get rich, if you actually have this hunger within you to grow, sales is single-handedly the biggest thing, the biggest engine, the biggest vehicle I can possibly think of to just lift people out of poverty. If you're broke, living at home or something like that, you have no idea what to do, you're struggling even with school, you don't need to be academic, smart, nothing like that. You just need to be able to fucking sell, you know? And I personally like to sell something that's a need to have, not a want to have. People don't need furniture, right? They could reuse an old couch, but if your fridge died, you need a new fridge, right? Funeral services, people die, right? You need a funeral. If your air conditioner breaks, you need to fix it, right? So a need to have will infinitely make your life easier. I also recommend selling something that you have an opportunity to have repeat business. Again, that's why I made so much more money selling appliances than I did couches, because somebody buys a couch, I mean, you took them out of the market for 10 years, right? But if I had a client, for example, that was a real estate investor, he would come to me every time he was doing a house flip, and he would keep buying more product from me. So you could even in sales have the ability where some people make just recurring commissions from clients that they've had for years. Without even making any new sales, they're already making more money than most people, right? You have the ability in sales to make millions. You have the ability to not have to be chained to a timesheet where you have to clock in from 9 to 5 every day. You set your own schedule. You sell. You set your own salary as well. If I want to make more money, I work harder. It's up to me. It's the most accountable job you could ever work. And I know a lot of people are going to be intimidated by it. Don't try to get it right the first time. You're probably not. If you have no experience, you have no idea what you're doing, you're probably going to suck in the beginning. But is that an excuse not to do it? I would highly recommend just get the experience. Even if it's at a fucking car dealership or a door-to-door sales job. Door-to-door sales is miserable, but give it a shot. You will learn, you will develop, and then you could say, okay, I'm doing decent at this, let me go do something that's a little bit more my taste, right? I know a woman that makes pretty good money selling puppies at a mall, at a little pet adoption store. And sales is literally everywhere. Just get your foot in the door, try something, take that, don't stagnate and stay there for 5 years. I mean, 6 months, a year down the line, they say, okay, I've done pretty well at this. Let's see if I can push it even further. And just keep looking for other opportunities out there. But I highly recommend to get into sales. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out. Happy to give more actionable advice and help anybody I possibly can. But I'd give that a shot.